Tell us about coming back to Cape Town.
And at that stage, they owed me a lot of money because, as I say, I was single. I never had wives to support. All I had was my share of the flat and my office. And I had a secretary who I shared with somebody else. His office was next door and we shared the same secretary. So my expenses were minimal and my income was big. As a matter of fact, in the first year already, I earned enough to pay a little word called super tax. So I waited one more year and I said, gentlemen, this is it. And soon they said, phone call, please come up to Cape Town. We'll give you a ticket from East London. And I'd never been in an aeroplane before. Well, I never squandered money. And I was in East London and I still remember asking the wheels at stage to their customers and to explain to me what you do when you fly. Because I'd never flown. Little did I know the millions of miles I was going to fly. So I went to Cape Town. They met me at the airport and I had to stay with one of the brothers in his home. And he had a daughter he really wanted me to make a shidduch. And it wasn't for me. I already had Lita and she was much, more my type. And they said, right, the man who was our sales manager in Cape Town is going to join his brother in competition. We'd like to offer you the job as sales manager of our company. I said, no, that's all very well, but I don't want a job. I want a share. He said, to start with, we'll give you 5%. You'll pay for the 5%. I said, oh, how much, I said, but that's not really much, is it? Well, work your way up and show us, and we'll give you more. Anyhow, I took over as sales manager. I cleaned out Johannesburg, cleaned out Durban, opened an office in Port Elizabeth, and got stuck into selling in Cape Town. And they've never seen figures like that. Never. And this went on for 2 years. I said, gentlemen, this 5% is not enough for me. And my salary was the same as what they were drawing, fairly. They're very honest, decent, honourable people. And I waited for another year. Meantime, they had a lot of my money there. I was getting bank rate of interest. And I said, if I don't get something, now a bit more, I said, okay, we'll have a meeting. They came back to me and they said, we can only tell you that we decided to allow you to buy a third share in the business. Me and my brother and you. Delighted I couldn't have been. First I was made a director, okay. Now I'm a director with equal to the bosses who started the business. And I was in my mid-20s then, but 26, 27, around there. And we did very nicely, and I built up a big business. Leon came into the picture, where he had to go to university, not all of us. And he played Clubhouse the first year, and he failed. He came back and he was living with me at that stage, because I just got married to Lita, and he living with me because my mother was living in Humansdorp, and I brought her to Cape Town very shortly after I was there, and she had a suite at the Claridge's Hotel in Greenpoint. She died there. She was there for years. And my brother, young brother, plugged the first year and he said he's not going back to university. I didn't want to take him in the firm because family in firms don't work. And I went to a cocktail party the next night and I met the boss of Panther Shoe Company. And I was chatting to him and said, "Would you perhaps have a job for my brother?" "Wolpe," he says. I said, "Yeah." "What's he doing?" I said, "He was at varsity and he doesn't like it." I didn't lie again. I only lied once to get the job. I gave him the job straight away at £30 a month. Oh, that's what they paid, you know. And he was smart, very smart, my young brother. And in 3 months he was earning £60 a month. And after 2 years, he says, well, he doesn't know the future, yeah. And the Filemans, two ex-bosses, said, "Bring him over because since you left Port Elizabeth, the area's gone to nothing." Which is true. The Filemans wanted him, and they said, "Listen, we've got to get your brother and take your place because we've had 3-4 reps since you left, and it's not working. We've got to get the Wolpe name back in the Eastern Cape." And he came, and I went out and I bought him a car. He had to have his own car. In Humansdorp, where I bought all my cars, black Chev. And I always drove black Chevs. Every 2 years I bought a new one from him. Because it saved you, it was a good deal. I bought the one there for him. He didn't have the money. I said, "I'll finance you." Yeah. Went and he did extremely well. He had a little sideline called Riva Fader, which made cocktail expensive dresses. And the old duck who was running it after 2-3 years said she'd like to get out. And at that stage, I was having difficulty with my partners because they were starting to bring their family in. And every time I said no, they said, "Let's put it to the vote." Well, they had 2 votes, I had 1. So I was outvoted, unfortunately. There was no chance. And it went that way until my brother said, "Look, Riva Fader's for sale, but I haven't got the money." I said, "I've got money." So it saved, you know, it was very, even today I can lay my hands on large amounts. Cash, always been like that. And he went to her and she said, "Okay, but your brother must sign guarantee," which I did. I then left Harris, bought Aquapel rainwear in an afternoon, and we amalgamated. We then decided to give it a name because we had Aquapel rainwear, Trickwear, which we bought immediately afterwards, and Riva Fader, and put it under one name, which is Wolpe Fashion Holdings. We later bought Underwear Factory, which had gone insolvent, in 1970 for R500,000, which we never had, but on a Sunday morning I phoned our shipper and we had such a good name that he guaranteed the money. We bought it at 25 cents in the rand.
How successful was Wolpe Fashions with Leon?
Exceptionally successful. So much so that we got a lot of money from a public company to buy us out.
How long were you together for?
Well, we were brothers, and father and son, since he was 9 years old. In business, equal partners, as I said, gave him an equal share. I didn't say, I'm the older brother, I've got the money, you're going to work for me. I said, equal down the middle. And that lasted for 25 years. And then we sold out to a public company for all cash. He wanted to live in America and he could achieve his dream and go to America. I had been going to America and still go to America before him, doing certain things and involved in certain things. I've been doing properties, buying properties and not selling. One big lesson is never sell a property unless you have to. And the properties that you buy must be 3 things: position, position, and position. And all the properties I own today are in that category. Paid more for them when I bought them, but today they're bargains. They would never smell it. Because every year, if you own property, there's a word called escalation, and the rentals go up. And if it's in a good position, you always will get higher rentals because it's the position, position, and position. And you're safe, your money is safe in the properties, whereas the shares, which I have a lot of, you're a winner one week, and you can wake up on a Monday morning and lose half. 3 years before he died, for reasons of partnership in America, didn't suit me, and we parted. Parted as brothers, but obviously any split in any marriage or partnership there's always a little bit of stigma. We remained friends until the day he died, which was last year in August.
Papa Manny, you were working all the time. What were your other interests?
Work. More work. I loved it. I loved what I was doing. And I couldn't get enough of it, as long as it was profitable. Does that answer your question?
It does.